Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Physics professor from the University of Connecticut has claimed that he designed a working time machine.
Really?
Yeah, so all those bad decisions we made a few years back, we can go back and fix those. or we'll probably just repeat them anyway. So I don't know if this is a joke, but he says, I've got a working time machine.
I've got some things I'd change.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I don't know if I would. At the end of the day, I've made some dumb mistakes, but I'd probably do them again. Coming up, speaking of dumb mistakes, we do this every Tuesday, and we just keep doing it. We've got Tuesdays with Charlie coming your way. That's not really a dumb mistake. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Well, it's my dad. He's awesome.
It's always fun. We'll be chatting with him in just a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, August the 2nd. Today is National Coloring Book Day. A lot of adults getting in on that stuff lately. It's also National Night Out, and it's Take a Penny, Leave a Penny Day as well. Also, what I used to refer to as just payday. So I'll take a penny. So anyway, Take a Penny, Leave a Penny Day. That's a kind of a cool thing. I like to leave pennies. Every once in a while I have to take a penny. But you should definitely leave more pennies than you take. If everybody does that, then it's a good system. Coming up here in a bit, we got some more fun stuff. And we've got Tuesdays with Charlie on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time, too. You decide when messages are sent, and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. One of the cool things about having a church with a bell tower is, well, ringing the bell, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, well, what if your neighborhood doesn't like all those bell ringings?
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, that's what happened. In Frankfurt, Germany, several complaints from residents of a town caused a court order to come to a church in the community, and they said you don't have to stop ringing the bell. You just have to stop ringing them so loudly, or we're going to make you pay a hefty fine. So how do you ring a bell quietly?
Maybe you can set levels up in the tower.
I don't know how that works.
I would assume there's something.
So they apparently have to pull the string really lightly, so it's like it's time for church. Bing.
I doubt there's a string.
I don't know.
I don't
how
think
it
there's
works.
some guy up there pulling a string.
I remember there was a church in a community we used to live in that they had a bell tower, but it had speakers in it, and it would play over the speakers the sounds of a bell. Because I'm a weirdo, and I noticed that kind of thing, and I was looking up there, I was like, there's a speaker in there. And then I asked, and they said, yeah, there's not a bell in there, it's just a speaker. It sounds like a bell. Like, well, there you go. So if they did something like that...
Yeah,
like I
said, I'm sure they can adjust
You could just turn the volume down a little bit. Anyway, this is happening in Frankfurt, Germany. So somebody doesn't like all that bell ringing. I bet that church has probably been there for 100 years, and people who moved in should have known when they're moving in that they're going to be ringing the bell. Maybe if I move in by railroad tracks, I can say, hey, can you slow those trains down and keep them quiet? I don't like all that train noise, in the house I just moved into right by the railroad tracks that have been there forever. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. But this is happening in Frankfurt, Germany, and you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Drunk driving can now be blamed on high heels. Yeah.
I think we've read this one.
Have we really? Bill Thomas, an attorney from Durham, North Carolina, has created a new defense for women accused of DUI, the high heel excuse. He argued that the sobriety test was unfair. It required her to walk a long straight line, pivot quickly, and stand on one foot for 30 seconds, all of which is almost impossible because she was wearing stilettos with 3.5-inch heels.
All she would have to do is take off her shoes.
There you go. And here's my thing. Why is she, if she can't do this stuff, why would you want to wear shoes you can't walk in anyway? Anyway, she says, the heels make me wiggle, and they thought I was drunk. He claimed that under the circumstances, she did remarkably well by balancing on one foot for 16 seconds in a stiletto. The judge agreed, by the way, and invalidated.
But what was her blood alcohol level?
I don't know. And that's the thing that I would like to have seen in the story. He invalidated the roadside test and tossed out the case. So in a situation like that, she should have done a breathalyzer or a blood test.
Yeah.
Because if you can't do this one because of your high heels.
Well, nobody should be convicted on just the roadside test alone. I mean, you should have to have other evidence.
It's like doing the ABCs backwards. I'm like, can you do that
I
sober?
can't even do that sober. So.
Let's see. Z, W, X, Y, W. All right. Maybe I'm just drunk all the time. I don't know. Anyway, kids, this is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Everybody knows that smoking can be hazardous for your health, but probably not in the way that you are thinking, at least according to this story. There was a guy in Omaha, Tim Green. He found out just how hazardous smoking can be, and he found out the hard way. Cancer isn't what we're talking about here, though. Tim was trying to light a cigarette with a propane torch.
Oh, my gosh.
Ended up starting a fire in his garage, which left him hospitalized in critical condition with third-degree burns. It all started because he was trying to light a smoke with a torch.
That's not very smart.
Yeah, I think, Tim, maybe next time you just use matches or a lighter, or maybe now's the time to quit. I'm just thinking out loud here. Coming up, we've got your Scoop of the Day, and also Tuesdays with Charlie is on the way. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your Scoop of the Day. Health officials have confirmed that the Zika virus is now being carried by mosquitoes in America. This is not good. This is really bad.
Somebody told me the other day that they just got a ton of vials of the Zika virus cure in, was it Minneapolis?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because there have been
reports.
Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't become a big deal, especially not as big a deal as this. Pokemon is still in the news. Oh, my goodness. If you're struggling to build your Pokemon posse because your Pokeballs are curving all over the place, a guy by the name of John Cleaver has created a simple and brilliant iPhone case that serves as a guide for your finger to keep launching dead straight and vastly improve your monster capturing skills for Pokemon Go. I have the info on our Facebook page for those of you who want that. And by the way, if you want that, you really need to reconsider what your choices are in life.
Exactly.
The good news is the case is free, kind of. The bad news is the plans are free, but you need a 3D printer to build it. So you get the plans from this guy's website, and then you import them into a 3D printer. So there you go. You know what? I have an idea. I think we should have everybody playing Pokemon Go take a fly swatter and smack mosquitoes while they're out there. Take care of the Zika virus.
There you go.
Just a thought. Hey, the co-owner of a Pennsylvania bridal shop was arrested after he was spotted naked in his display windows. What in the world was he doing? That doesn't make any sense to me. For those of you who are watching the political news last week, you might have seen on the DNC there was a gentleman that showed his pocket version of the U.S. Constitution. Well, that has become a bestseller on Amazon in the last week. The 52-page pamphlet printed by the National Center for Constitutional Studies sells for $1, and it's been forever since that's been a bestseller. Well, in the last week, it's in the top 10 best-selling books on
That's
Amazon.
Awesome. We have several copies of the Pocket Constitution.
It's a good thing, and it's not because I throw it in somebody's face and say, well, according to my rights, but I want to be able to read it. And the thing that I like about the one that I have is it also has it in plain English, so you understand. Anyway, I've got a link to this on our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Unbelievable story from Alabama. A bartender was checking to see if a woman was legally old enough to drink, and she really recognized this driver's license pretty darn good because it was hers.
Oh,
this has happened a couple of times now, but this just happened in Alabama. A person stole this lady's identity, stole her
and then went bar hopping.
And then went to the bar and handed it to the lady she stole it from. Speaking of the bar, usually you're there before you're here. We're going to head to Taco Bell. Just kidding. Taco Bell and Burger King and all of these different people are working on something here. It says, hot off the cheesy collaboration with Burger King, Cheetos plans to put their puffs to a brand new Taco Bell product, a Cheetos burrito. Taco Bell is going to begin testing a new Cheetos burrito in Cincinnati in mid-August, and they're going to sell for $1. So that'll be kind of an interesting thing to see.
That doesn't even sound good. Not
a
even
Cheeto
a little
burrito.
bit.
I don't know.
Yuck.
It doesn't sound bad.
Yes, it does. It sounds horrible.
This is why I weigh too much. In England, an intruder broke into a pub after hours and got drunk and had to be coaxed out with snacks. This intruder was named Mocha. This intruder was a Shetland pony.
Yeah.
A Shetland pony broke into a pub and got drunk. That happened in England. Even the horses in England are awesome. All right. Hey, the Rocketeer reboot is in the works. Disney Studios is developing a reboot of their 91 action-adventure movie, The Rocketeer. Do you remember that?
I never even saw The Rocketeer.
It was interesting. The project is in early development stages, considered a sequel reboot, and in a modern-day twist, it's going to be headlined by a black female character. So the new Rocketeer is going to be kind of interesting. Speaking of movies, we did not see this, but we should have. And I'm sure we can probably still catch it because they'll air it forever. Sharknado: The Fourth Awakens. We talked about the fact that it was coming out over the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, in the latest installment, set 5 years after the third one, the U.S. was threatened by a buffet of tornado variations. Ian Ziering and David Hasselhoff return. Listen to the lineup of stars in this.
Yeah, I know.
New stars,
I've
Gary
never
Busey.
seen any of them, but
Yeah.
I would really like to. Actually.
Well, we got to just set our DVR and watch this.
Yeah.
Gary Busey, Tommy Davidson, Cheryl Teagues. I'm going to just read the ones that I actually know. Some people from Baywatch that I don't know. This was on over the weekend, and we missed it on Sci-Fi. But like I said, they'll re-air it a bunch. Other cameo appearances from Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank, Kim Johnson from Dancing with Stars, Carrot Top, Dwayne Chapman, also known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, Jay DeMarcus from the band Rascal Flatts, David Faustino. He was the young kid on Married with Children. What was the boy's name?
Bud,
yeah, Bud's on there. Gilbert Gottfried, Steve Gutenberg, which I haven't seen him for
I
years.
haven't seen him in anything
Vince Neil from
forever.
Motley Crue, and Wayne Newton. So with a lineup
That
like
should be
that,
interesting.
you know, just to see those people, because a lot of them you haven't seen in the spotlight in a while. So we missed it over the weekend. If you saw it, you'll have to let me know. Was it good? Is it
Well,
worth
of course
me
it was
saying?
good. It's,
I don't know
I
if
mean,
it
not
was-
good,
You
but good,
seriously?
worth a laugh.
You're expecting an Oscar? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
I'm saying, of course it was good. Those kind of movies are always
And the
good.
Oscar goes to Sharknado 4. There's another thing you will never
You just
hear.
can't go wrong with a cheesy movie. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel.
All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want. See how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice, too, at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
That's a wet morning.
Well, it's kind of damp there in Iowa?
Yes.
Well, is that a good thing, though? People probably praying for the rain there, right?
Well, we got a little rain yesterday, so that was enough. But
So you're saying, okay, I get it. Get it over with.
I get it. Yeah, just so it ain't Thursday.
Okay. Oh, that's your
Golf
golf
day.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what kind of cool stuff are we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Okay. Do you know the difference between a snowstorm and a blizzard?
No.
I don't know. It's probably just the severity of the
Winds?
snow.
Blizzards, you can't see for a quarter of a mile. Winds of 35 mile an hour or more and last for at least 3 hours.
Oh. Well, there you
Like
go.
it's a snowstorm.
A snowstorm is just anything?
If it ain't a blizzard, it's a snowstorm.
Okay. Well, there you go. Now we know.
There you go. I knew you'd want to know that.
I did. I'm glad you told me.
Hey, then, do you know what the most recognizable smell in America is?
Most recognizable smell?
Yeah.
In America, French fries.
No,
Gasoline?
burning wood.
Burning wood. Okay.
I
can see that.
love the smell.
That's a
of
good
burning wood.
smell. I like that smell.
You know what the second most smell is?
Fresh cut grass.
Coffee.
Oh, I like that one
Oh
too.
yeah.
And 4 out of 5 Americans start the day with coffee.
I'm one of those.
Yes, me too. Hey, okay, here. A typical peanut butter and jelly sandwich eaten on the beach contains over 7,000 grains of sand.
Ugh. That's why I never eat. That's why I never eat peanut butter and jelly on the beach.
That'd be like eating chunky peanut butter.
Yeah, kind of.
Gross.
Dude, that's terrible.
I also just never go to the beach.
Hey, now here's something that'll shock you.
What's that?
You know the Irish drink more tea per head than any nation in the world?
More tea?
More tea.
Well, you usually
Really?
think of the British for tea, but the Irish drink more.
Yeah, you'd think they put booze in their tea, wouldn't you, or something?
Maybe they do.
I've heard of Irish tea. Maybe that's what that is.
Hey, that's right.
Oh, no, that's Irish coffee.
No, what's the tea that's a lot of booze in it?
I think that's a Long Island iced tea.
There you go, Long Island iced tea. Them
Yeah.
New Yorkers know how to drink.
Yeah, those other guys, that's Irish coffee. That's what I was thinking of, so I was wrong.
Hey, then did you know that the first beer cans were produced in 1935?
No kidding.
Really?
Before that, I suppose they had bottles.
Well, I don't know.
They must have.
Really? Then did you know that beer prevents kidney stones?
Oh, wow.
I'm good
You'll-
to go then.
You will never have kidney stones, Charlie.
Each bottle of beer consumed per day is estimated to reduce risk by 40%.
See, there we go.
You have a
I'm in the negatives.
9,000% chance of not getting kidney stones.
My body don't even know what a kidney stone looks like.
Your body doesn't know what a kidney is anymore either, though.
hey. And then I got one last thing for you.
All right, what's that?
Now, this is a quote from Ben Franklin.
Okay.
Beer is proof that God loves us.
This is true.
That's
I
a
agree
good
with
quote.
that. I like that quote.
Beer is
He
proof
was
that
a
God
wise
loves
old man.
us. He was a very wise old man, yes. Just like you.
Yes, I'm wise and I'm old.
Yes. Well, I got a good, a little tidbit for you here. Are you ready for your question?
Sure.
All right. Question is, 3,000 years ago, most Egyptians died by the time they were how old, Charlie?
18.
No, they were a little older than that. They were 30.
Oh.
Most Egyptians
lived
died
till
by the
30?
time they were 30. That's it. So we would all
Wow.
be goners.
Well, that seems like a long time to live, though, to me, for back then.
No, I don't know.
Well, they had a lot of beer back then, so they didn't have
They
no
didn't have
kidney
those kidney stones.
That was their secret. Well, there you go. Now we know all kinds of stuff.
Very informative.
It was. It was informative, and we learned stuff today.
We was informative. Is
We
that what
was
you-
informative.
A lot of knowledge there.
Kind of just ruined the whole thing, didn't I? For a moment there, somebody tuning in for the first time might have thought they were listening to scholars. Now we let the cat out of the bag. We're just a bunch of morons.
What a maroon.
Well, Charlie, it's always fun to chat with you. We'll talk to you again next week.
I'll be here.
All
Bye,
right.
Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. And had a young lady that I met this weekend. It was funny because she said, "Oh, you're the husband, right?" And then she was wondering if Charlie was my dad or if he was your dad.
He's my dad.
I said, yeah, she claims him. Can't you tell? Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that website is RadioLottoPool.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The world's oldest piece of chewing gum is 9,000 years old.
Okay.
That's old. Now, I've had some that tasted like it was 9,000 years old. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Lightning strikes about 6,000 times per minute somewhere on this planet. So
Okay.
there's always lightning striking somewhere. It's just not always in the same place. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The United States once issued a 5-cent bill. So instead of having, change, it was a 5-cent paper bill.
Really?
Yeah, I bet our son knew that. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You'll eat about 35,000 cookies in your lifetime. I think I might actually eat more than that. I like cookies. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The praying mantis is the only insect that can turn its head. All of the others, they cannot. They don't have a neck.
Really?
Well, at least not one that swivels. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Dogs and cats consume about $7 billion worth of pet food every year. Yeah. So that means there's about $7 billion worth of pet poop coming out every year.
That's
What
true.
goes in must come out. Just saying. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time, too. You decide when the messages are sent, and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Tuesday. Cars are loaded with bacteria. It says here, apparently driving is more dangerous than we thought, and it's probably not because of, hazards of driving, but it's the health hazards. Microbiologists from Britain's Aston University found that the typical car has, are you ready for this? 283 different types of bacteria in every square inch.
That doesn't surprise me because you never really clean the insides of your car.
A lot of people do. We just don't.
But not as often as you clean your home.
The dirtiest part of your vehicle was the gear shift. So whether it's an automatic or whether it's a manual, that was the dirtiest spot. Home to 356 germs per square inch. Drivers with children and pets were found to host a greater number of bacteria in their cars. The study conducted for insuranceco.uk found British motorists spend more than 3 years of their life behind the wheel. Over a quarter eat there every week. 1 in 4 car owners said their car is littered with food wrappers and empty drink bottles, while 1 in 6 admitted to regularly leaving uneaten food in their vehicle. I think I've got some uneaten French fries under my seat. I think there's a lot of people that have that. But I don't really just leave uneaten food laying around. That's not something I've ever really been a big fan of. I've gotten in people's vehicles before where they had half a cheeseburger, and I'm like, what is that? And they're like, well, it's my lunch the other day. I'm like, why is it still sitting here?
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
You should really throw that away. You planning on eating it later? I mean, what are you going to do with that? I've always tried to keep my car pretty tidy. I'll get some What are you laughing about?
Oh!
I'll get some trash over on the passenger side seat, on the floor, because I'll throw it over there. But then I'll get out. When I get out, I try to always clean it out. There are times that I haven't done that yet when Heidi gets in the car. That is why she's laughing, I'm assuming.
Oh.
What are you trying to say? I don't have a tidy car?
Not even a little. If it weren't for me constantly cleaning out your car, you would not have a tidy car.
I can almost see out the passenger window. I got so much stuff stacked over here. It's not quite that bad. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
If you're in business, you need a website. Come on, it's 2016. Do you think this internet thing is not going to catch on? Many business owners that don't have a website think it's just too expensive. Well, now it's not. You can get a website for a few $100s, not thousands of dollars that are charged elsewhere. We can help you set up and design the site and then turn you loose to manage it, or we can help you manage the site for just a tiny bit more. Learn about this special radio offer right now at radiosavings.com. Get an extra $50 off if you sign up this month at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
When is a child prodigy not a child prodigy? When he pretends to be a child prodigy.
Oh, wow.
The Department of Science and Technology in India sent out what they believe to be a 13-year-old child prodigy, went to Germany to meet and interact with Nobel Prize winners. They ended up being embarrassed because it became very obvious the kid was not that smart. Should have been rather obvious from the get-go. The agency believed the boy's claims with no proof or verification. This says the claims should have been an obvious load of garbage to any agency. The boy claimed to have discovered, quote, a new fundamental particle that has no consciousness. Claimed to have written a book, Electrogravity Unification. And the Department of Science and Technology, they say they were shocked to learn that he wasn't what he claimed to be. And they shouldn't have been such a shock because, if this story sounds familiar, this happened a couple years ago as well. Yeah, same thing happened.
Same kid?
Different kid, 5 years ago, same group. They believed him as well, and he turned out to be a fake. He claimed he could turn water into gasoline with a mixture of secret herbs and spices.
Oh, yeah.
So, what are you, like a little Colonel Sanders for gasoline?
Why would they just believe that
Well,
without
you
any
can?
proof?
Yeah, here's some. This was water. I turned it into gasoline. Well, it's gasoline. This kid's a prodigy.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's funny stuff. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Imagine if you were sitting in a Taco Bell, just minding your own business, and a bunch of guys wearing ski masks burst through the door. That'd kind of freak you out, wouldn't it?
A little bit.
That's what happened. 15 guys
Whoa.
wearing ski masks burst into a Taco Bell, and you're thinking, okay, this place is getting robbed. Something's going down. Well, they weren't there to take anything. They were there to leave something. Grant County, Indiana, these guys came in toting 6 40-gallon trash bags filled with taco sauce. And they brought it back. There was a note that says, we collected these over the last 3 years. We were going to use them for a practical joke, but decided not to. So here they are back. They brought them back. I'm pretty sure they had to throw them away anyway.
I wonder what the practical joke was.
I don't know. But about 25,000 packets of Taco Bell hot sauce was delivered back to Taco Bell. I wonder if they could use it. I'm pretty sure they would have to give it back, like throw it away.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, unless it's been tampered with in some way. I don't know why they couldn't use it.
I just don't know. I suppose each one of them are sealed up, but I wonder if they had to. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to use it. They were going to do a practical joke. What if they did one on that and sealed it back up somehow? All right. Coming up, 10 best snacks to pick you up. That's on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want. See how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice too at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
You ever feel like maybe I just need a pick-me-up?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here are some snacks to help pick you up, according to, who's this from? I don't know, somebody on the internet. So you know it's Joe. In-between meal snacks have taken a lot of heat in the war against obesity, but there are 10 healthy treats to soothe your grumbling tummy while boosting your energy level. You ready for these?
Sure.
Dried apricots, or apricots if you want to say it wrong. A great source of iron, vitamin A, fiber, and protein. Also, fresh peaches. Oh, those are good.
I love peaches.
Eat a peach for fiber, niacin, potassium, beta-carotene, and vitamin C. Almonds are another one on the list. Low cholesterol, low sodium treat. Raisins, a healthy low-fat snack, and it's rich in potassium, phosphorus, iron, and copper. Yogurt. They say 6 ounces of this tasty treat offer riboflavin, which we all need. I mean, we all have a riboflavin shortage, don't we? Don't you need more riboflavin? I just like saying riboflavin. Vitamin B12 and calcium. How about sesame sticks?
Sesame sticks?
Yeah. It says a single ounce contains 3 grams of protein. Baby carrots, teeming with beta-carotene and vitamin A and C and B6, as well as copper, iron, and potassium. That sounds like a good one.
So it's only the baby carrots, or do big carrots work too?
I think big carrots probably work too, but it says baby carrots. Dried soybeans, high in fiber, protein, iron, and potassium. Low-fat peanut butter, a great source of protein. Celery is loaded with fiber and minerals. And low-fat string cheese, a quick and easy source of protein and calcium. So there's a whole list of things here that are pretty good for you. I don't think there's a single thing on that list that I would refuse to eat. That all sounds like it'd be okay.
I wouldn't eat the soybeans.
Oh, they're not bad.
Just out of nowhere.
No.
Say,
If
I want
you
dried soybeans.
I've had some of those, and they're really not bad at all. So I would even have that. So
I think what you had, though, was covered with, like, cheesy salt or something.
Yeah.
That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about just plain soybeans.
It doesn't say that.
Yeah, well, that. Guarantee you, what you eat is not what they're talking about.
Soybeans? All right, coming up, we do have some good news. That is on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think we got some good news here. This is kind of an interesting story from the Netherlands. Plastic litter along roadsides may soon be used to make new roads. A company in the Netherlands has come up with a plan to replace asphalt and concrete with recycled plastic.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
The plastic road is what they call it. That material promises two benefits for the environment. Not only would it reduce plastic waste headed for landfills, but it was also planned to cut carbon emissions from the alternative oil-based asphalt. The company says plastic road should last 3 times as long
That's
as
what I was just
conventional
gonna say.
materials.
They should last longer, too.
It would also be easier to repair by simply pulling out a damaged section and replacing it with
That's
a new
fantastic.
one. So it's like a giant Lego road, is what they're
Love
saying.
it.
So made with building blocks. If you want to read more about this, I've got a link on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. You can go check it out there. That is really kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I saw something maybe 3 years ago, 2 years ago, where they had this roadway that was like a lighted roadway. Do you remember that?
Yeah, like glows in the dark.
Yeah, and
or
it was made out of some sort of plastic material, and there were
Yep.
you could change like where the lines were, and you could close a road. And I remember thinking, oh, that is really cool. And then they showed how much it was for a mile of this, and I was like, that's never going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Like what?
But
what in
there's
the
no
world?
reason that this couldn't happen.
No, this is a really good idea because they're using refuse. They're getting garbage and turning it into roads.
Yeah, it's and it lasts 3 times as
Yeah.
long, which is amazing.
I can think of a couple places where they should test this and see if it would work, because my question is, what happens in cold climates? Plastic in cold don't necessarily go so well together. So I wonder if you'd be driving down the road and it would just start shattering. That would be bad. So I'm sure they had to think of that. And if you're driving and it gets too hot, if the plastic would melt, that could be bad
I mean,
too.
you still have the same problem with asphalt. That's why you have to repair them every year.
There you go. Well, interesting stuff. But again, I do think it's good news. And if you'd like to check it out, it's on the Facebook page. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.